Intro music.
Overview narration.
Doctor!
My name is James.
My name is Joey.
And this is the Brothers Padre.
James. What a difference a week makes, James.
I know, right?
How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are the vibes? You're wearing your City Connect hat.
I am wearing my City Connect hat. A very nice fellow bought it for me.
Was that a You were giving me a compliment, but I just rode right over that.
Yes, you did.
I can't handle compliments in my life.
Wow.
I'll work it out later in therapy. But anyways,
Okay.
is that one of your? You ruined my bit. The bit I was going to say was did you buy that hat out of, like, did you illegally buy that hat? Because that people don't know that James has a crippling hat addiction.
All right. So I have been buying fitted Padre hats since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently realized that I was a part of a world I did not belong to. Did not know I was a part of. Like, people who collect hats.
Uh-huh.
And I've gotten on forums. I've started chatting with people. It is, and I told Joey that I wasn't going to buy a hat until what happens after the playoffs. I might buy a hat.
Right. I don't think you're gonna last that long. When we went to Petco yesterday. Yeah. Went to the Wednesday game, which we're gonna talk about, obviously. But I don't know. We try to be family friendly, but I'm using this word, understanding the weight I'm about to say. You lusted over two hats.
Here's the thing.
There was a very cool looking man wearing a Gary Templeton jersey, and you were like, "See that hat, Joey?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, there's only like 100 of them.
The thing is, the two hats that we saw were limited edition.
Sure.
One was from Billion Creation, and the other was from New Era. And it bothers me that I know this now. But they're both limited editions.
Yeah.
Me looking at them is like me looking at a married supermodel. I'll never be able to have her.
I think you can afford a $200 hat if you save some dollars here and there.
That striped one is worth about $700.
The more you know. Anyways, so if you see James on the street in a hat shop on the side of the road, he's not supposed to buy them. His group has told him no more hats, but
group of you.
Yeah. But James, what an exciting week of Padres baseball!
From out of the ashes, because loyal listeners know our last episode, we held a state of emergency.
Yeah, we hold a lot of those.
That was the first state of emergency this year.
Was it?
It seems.
I'm not going to look back. I'm gonna believe you.
And the Padres weren't doing well.
Yep.
We had a losing record. We weren't scoring runs. And the first game of this week's recap, Thursday, September 15th, the Padres lost the Diamondbacks 4-0. The Diamondbacks yet again brought some random kid from AAA for his first game. And for whatever reason, the AAA guys for the Diamondbacks have first game against the Padres. They could no-hit us. They can shut us out. This guy threw 7 innings and shut us out. And we lost. And at that point, all hope was lost. You and I were looking into maybe we can be the Brothers Sockers or the Brothers Goals, something. But because, it just didn't make any sense. And then we heard that Bob Melvin, who's known to be very even-keeled, he doesn't speak up, he doesn't like to, be aggressive, apparently yelled at the players. And then the players had a private player-only meeting in which it lasted about an hour and a half in Arizona. and nobody knows what was said. All they know is Jake Cronenworth wrote on the whiteboard, "Burn the ships," which is what Cortez did when he came over. He famously burned his ship so his sailors would have inspiration to, like, I don't know, it seems like
and actually, if you really think about it, a real jerk move.
Real jerk move. A real dick move.
It's not like there's like bank accounts in South America. Like,
I know.
It's like,
but the idea is leave nothing behind. We have nothing to burn the ships. We're going forward, throw everything we have out in the field, and the next game we won 12-3. It was kind of impressive. Soto got 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Snell, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. It was incredible. But we are Padre fans.
Right.
One good game does not a comeback make.
Nope.
The next game, Saturday, September 17th, the Padres won again, 2-0. This time, Musgrove, 6 innings pitched, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts. He looked like Musgrove of the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Dominant beyond belief. Obviously, we were facing Zach Gallen, so that's their best pitcher. So we didn't score a lot of runs, but 2-0 victory. And Josh Hader, beautiful save. Things are looking up, Joseph.
They were. They are.
Uh-huh.
They once were, and they are.
They once were, and they are. Okay. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but all right. Okay. Final game of the Arizona Diamondback series. We won 6-1. Soto again got 3 hits. Yu Darvish, 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. What are you doing over there?
I'm interrupting your flow. So loyal listeners know, they don't know this, I have a coiled headphones, and every so often it decoils. I
am trying to describe the biggest comeback week in Padres recent history, and you are playing with your mic coil.
No. It got so excited it decoiled itself.
Okay. We won the final game in Arizona because somebody still cares about this podcast. 6-1. Yeah. Darvish pitched brilliantly. Again, Soto's getting hits. Yep. That is what we need. And yeah. And then they left. The St. Louis Cardinals came to town, Joey.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of this franchise. Yeah. Yep.
Pick on you about your mic cord, and all of a sudden you're just a little brat. All right. Tuesday, September 20th, the Padres won 5-0. Yeah. Clevenger, 5.2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs. Mm-hmm. Pitched harder than I think he's done all year. Clearly, by the 6th inning, was gassed, but shut them out. Soto got 2 more hits. Machado got 2 hits. Kim got 2 hits. It was a great game. Our offense is firing on all cylinders. At this point, Soto is batting .400 in the last 5 games. It was great. Then, yesterday's game, you and I were in attendance, as mentioned. The Padres won again, 1-0. Blake Snell pitched the best game I've ever seen him pitch live.
Yeah.
7 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts. He had a no-hitter for 6 innings. He had the highest velocity he's ever had in his career. He struck out Albert Pujols with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was pumped. The whole crowd was pumped. And he came back and gave a little extra for the future Hall of Famer because nobody wants to give up the home runs.
No.
But it's the last time anybody will have a chance to go one-on-one with a great. Yeah. And Blake Snell won. But in the 6th inning, Pujols did hit a single to break up the no-hitter, so he got a little bit of revenge later on in the game, but 13 strikeouts, a beautiful pitch game. Robert Suarez pitched 1 inning of beautiful, perfect relief, and Josh Hader, 3 up, 3 down in the 9th. It was beautiful. Austin Nola drove in the only RBI, and then comes today's game. We lost 5-4. Musgrove, 5 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Morahone just did not have it.
No.
He basically gave a bunch of runs. We brought in Nick Martinez, who also decided to have an off day and gave up a grand slam. And we ended up losing the final game against the St. Louis Cardinals 5-4.
Yep.
Manny Machado did get his 30th home run, though. Mm-hmm. That's all good. Albert Pujols did not get one of his last remaining home runs, 700, in San Diego. So that's also good. And that was it. That was the week. We ended up being 5-2. And last week, during our state of emergency, you and I both said if they want to prove us wrong, they have to be at least 5-2. And they were. And it was quite beautiful. We had a 5-game-in-a-row winning streak, which is, we've had about 6 of those this year, and that's the longest we've ever been able to win games. But 5-2, you'll take that in any 7-day stretch.
Yeah. We're now, as of today, 3 games up from the Brewers, a half a game up from the Phillies. Our magic number is 9, so any combination of the Brewers losing and us winning equal to 9, we're in the playoffs. So if we win 6 games, the Brewers lose 4 games, 3 games, we're in the playoffs, which seems that does seem very doable.
Very, very doable.
So 3 shutouts this stretch, great pitching performances. Like our starting pitchers just shut things down, right?
We had 37 straight innings of shutout ball by our starters.
Yep.
Longest that's happened. The Padres have done that. Longest stretch the Padres have had since 2010 of most shutout ball by our starting pitching.
Snell had the Cardinals are also like the lowest strikeout rate. They have the lowest strikeout rate of any team since the All-Star break. And for Snell to come in and just throw 13 on them, pretty incredible. They are playing the kind of caliber baseball that we know they have a potential to play. Yes. They are not someone they're not. They're not like suddenly all hitting home runs. They're just the pitchers are pitching well, timely defense, timely hitting, and that wins its baseball games, right? And that just does. That's how Padres have won a lot of games this year. And so it's been awesome to see because it was really touch and go about like, is this, are we going to have a collapse? Are we going to, are we just going to be eclipsed by the Brewers? And like, we're not, it's still baseball. Stuff can happen.
Correct.
But, there's a good chance these final games get very easy. Before we do that, what are your thoughts about this game before we go into the topic? What's your thoughts about this week? Anyone stand out this past week for you? Anything?
Juan Soto hitting is a great sight.
Yes.
Jake Cronenworth getting timely hitting is a great sight. Zokar continuing to be our best hitter since the beginning of this month is amazing. But really, it's our starting pitching.
Yep.
Our starting pitching is, and the thing is, like, they're not even that healthy.
Right.
Clevenger has a banged up knee, and Musgrove has a banged up shoulder.
Yep.
But they burned the ships, man. They're throwing everything they have. I think it's great. Not since the beginning of the year, I feel confident in all of our aspects of our game.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a way to, like, Juan Soto said it, it's like, we feel like we can beat anyone now. And I totally get that. The difference in the last game of the Cardinals series was Nick Martinez just didn't have it, and he gave up like the most meatball like grand slams. Like just like a breaking pitch did nothing in the middle of the zone. That's just, you're gonna get destroyed by any major league hitter. And so, but that stuff happens. But the rest of the series, except for Thursday, the rest of the games, you just saw super tight pitching, and you saw people just really executing game plans, which was awesome. And I think there's more to be untapped. Like Josh Bell isn't hitting that much still. I think that there's a potential where Brandon Drury gets hot. Even like Brandon Drury didn't do that many big hits this past 7 days, and if him and Bell start hitting some more again, we become like a super elite club.
Yes,
and that's really exciting to see. Watching the Cardinals series made me feel so much better about the rest of the year and made me feel better about the playoffs.
I agree.
If we get into
I absolutely
it.
agree.
And listen, baseball is baseball, and you can try your best, but crazy things happen, right? Like, so, I think I am cautiously optimistic about the next remaining 13 or 14 games.
12
games. Is that true?
We have 3 against the Rockies this weekend. 3 against the yeah.
Holy moly!
3 against the White Sox and 3 against the Giants.
That's so wild.
Yeah,
that's no time at all.
2 more podcasts at the end of the season.
Whoo, Nelly!
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my goodness, we gotta talk about some stuff though. Yeah, we went to a game yesterday, and we sat in front of somebody that was, I don't know. We don't normally rag on people we talk to, but like, we're not gonna rag on them. There's a certain kind of baseball fan that doesn't watch baseball, but likes to think they watch baseball.
It's the type of person that has an opinion on something,
right?
But doesn't have anybody that has an uneducated opinion, but comes at it with a place of authority.
Yeah. He told us that this was a throwaway lineup. And I don't know if I would love a throwaway lineup that included Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado in it.
So this guy Joey and I got a big kick out of listening to this guy try to explain to us
why the Cardinals were losing
and how he didn't think the Padres had a good starting lineup and all that kind of stuff. But this is what I'm thinking, Joey.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have had struggles as of late.
Yeah.
He's at the beginning of the denial stage that we were.
Right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Yeah, I should say one thing. If you're a fan and once you start like leveling out, like when you're talking about lineup construction, like I assume you know a lot about baseball. And so I have lots of discussion with people all around me when I sit down, right? But once you start saying lineup construction, I kind of like, okay, you're like, we're going to talk about this. But then you say things like, oh, we're just throwing this game away. I'm like, buddy, you throw 3 games in a row. They lost 3. This was a 3rd shutout in a row. And this guy was like, it's a throwaway game. No manager throws away 3 games in a row.
Especially in a playoff hunt. Yeah. So
I just was one of those moments and it just was like, it reminded me that not everyone's crazy like you and I. In some ways, not everyone's like watching every game, knows lineup construction, knows when. Like I know in my mind when, like we talk about this all the time. We always know where the best hitters are going to be in the last 2 innings.
Yes,
we always think about that. I was like, that's very tip top of our mind. On yesterday's game, we knew Hader was going to face Arenado and Goldie, and that was like,
yeah, exactly.
And like, we're in too deep. I get it. So I'm not like casting aspersions, but it was a funny exchange of have someone being like, first off telling that the Padres weren't good, and then telling us that there's a throwaway game. And it was one of those fan experiences like, oh, not everyone's as like in the nitty gritty as you and I.
So are you encouraged by this or discouraged by this?
I'm
Or if you're going to open your mouth, have with an opinion, back it up.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, if you start talking about lineup construction, at least know the last 3 games result. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Don't tell me the Cardinals are throwing away 3 straight shutout losses.
Yeah.
Because that you don't know baseball.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
So Joey's basically ragging on uneducated fans.
No, I'm ragging on people. First off, no manager has a throwaway game.
Oh, I know.
That's like the dumbest thing, especially when they haven't really clinched a spot.
As you can tell, this guy bugged us a lot today. But what Joey is failing to talk about, and I think this is just all a distraction, because during this game, Tommy Edman came up to bat.
Oh, yeah.
And
this is my biggest failure.
Joey started picking on him because he went to Del Mar High.
No. I was picking on him because he went to La Jolla High School. If you aren't aware, in San Diego County, there's pretty much a caste system in place. I'm going to say that. And if you're on the coast, guess what? You're on the higher caste.
So he was making fun of people from La Jolla and making fun of Tommy Edman about, you grew up in a rich blah, 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 blah. You never had to work hard in your life. The people sitting in front of us, so we are now the people in the back bugging them. Right. Turn and go, our kids went there.
I felt my body like minimize itself,
it was the funniest thing.
Like I sunk into my chair. I'm like, why? What did I do to deserve this? Go ahead.
It was picking on the guy behind us.
Right, yeah, it was karma.
It was instant karma.
Yeah, they looked back at me like, I was like, how did I know? How could I have known that their kids went to La Jolla High School? How?
But our saving grace was we did redeem ourselves. We looked up Tommy Edman.
Yeah.
And he didn't go to La Jolla High School. He went to La Jolla Country Dade private school, which was La Jolla High School's rivalry. And then now that couple was now in on making fun of them.
I won them over. I won them over.
Hey, you 50%. They still heard all the rich snooty things because these people,
Yeah. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So we then became...
Yeah.
The people without informed
information. The people in front of us are talking about us on their podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But no, there's no isn't it funny it all balanced out? It's just like, those guys were jerks.
But we don't know what they said that ticked off the people in front of them.
True.
That guy behind us might have caused a cascade of stupid.
Yeah.
Just an avalanche of dumb going down all of Petco Park. And that guy started. It wasn't our fault.
It wasn't our fault.
We were just the next domino.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Well, should we talk about next week, Joey?
I think we should talk about the lot. I think let's talk about this. I think it's now we have to talk about the last 2 weeks, right? I feel like I don't know. We'll talk a lot next week, but there's a lot that is going to go on in the last 2 weeks that's going to be decided this next week. So
exactly, yeah.
Go ahead.
As mentioned, 3 games in Colorado starting tomorrow. And then day off on Monday, fly back to San Diego, where the final 9 games of the year will be in San Diego, starting with the Dodgers. 3-game series, then the White Sox, and then the Giants. Oh, Monday's our last off day of the year.
Wild. Yeah, it's gonna get. I hope. Well, let's talk about it. So Colorado series is always a crapshoot.
Yes.
I don't care if we're a better team. I just don't. Okay. I have seen great teams just falter in Coors because guess what? The Rockies play there too, and they have the most annoying, stupid hitters in baseball because they just make contact, and that's all that really matters in Coors: making contact, bloop singles. Weird home runs. That's just, So this series is the most chaotic to me because we could sweep them. We could just We should sweep them.
We should sweep them. If we were playing these games at any other stadium in the world,
right,
we would sweep them.
I think we go 2-3. I think we do have enough of the push that we talked about of being like, no, we have to win these games. I think the Rockies. I don't think they want to. They don't have the initiative to win as much as they used to. Just the way it is. It doesn't mean we can't still lose. We can definitely still lose, but we have to get 2-3 with the Rockies. And the Dodgers series, this is where it gets tough, right? Because we haven't won a series against them, right, this year?
No.
And part of me thinks that if we win against the Rockies, Monday is all about, like, we have to make it known to them that we're a threat.
Yes.
Going to the playoffs. We have to just put our absolute best effort down and beat that series. Because, that they are the hardest team to beat in the National League. I think I think the Mets are. In a short series, the Mets are tougher. But 1A, 1B, right? The Mets, Dodgers are both the two toughest teams in baseball, in the National League to beat. I think if the vibes are good, like we saw the past 6 games, I think we find a way to beat the series. I think the Dodgers are, if you want to talk about teams that can throw away games, it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
They've clinched the West. They're fine. They don't need to bring everyone out at all times. They want to keep in baseball shape, but there's no reason to go ham and all this stuff. So it makes them weaker potentially. So I think it's time for us to beat them. And so I'm saying we're 4-2. And with that, maybe our magic number is maybe 5 or 4 after that. That'd be cool. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I would love to clinch our playoff berth against the Dodgers and show them that we also are better people. We also can do math.
Yeah. The only way that could happen is we'd have to sweep Colorado and the
Brewers would have to get swept.
We'd have to lose 3. So they could lose on Monday too. And then we'd have to win one and either win both 2 games against the Dodgers or win 1 game and then the Brewers lose 1 game. Which doesn't seem that crazy. Like the Brewers are facing the Cardinals too next week. That's, the Cardinals are a better team than the Brewers.
Unless they're going to throw away the game.
That's true. It's always a problem with Ollie Marmol, I guess, but he just loves throwing away baseball games and keeping his 2 best players in the lineup. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think 4-2. That's what I think. I think that our vibes are good. I think our eyes are set on the prize. But it could be like we could it wouldn't be surprising if we sweep the Rockies and we still only win 1 against the Dodgers.
That is true.
I don't know. But we have to win against the Rockies. We have to. But yeah, it'd be super awesome if they clinch next week. That'd be cool. I'd be a fan.
Me too. Well, for me, I think we win both series.
Okay.
4-2 sounds all right.
Yep.
But I say we're gonna go 5-1.
Okay. Okay.
And just because I say we lose one of the Rockies, but we sweep the Dodgers.
Ooh, look at this vibe. That's a vibe, dude.
Uh-huh.
That's a total vibe.
Because you know what? Burn the ships.
Burn the ships.
And if that means dinging Freddie Freeman, we ding Freddie Freeman.
I like that. I like that a lot. Sweep the Dodgers, go into the playoffs knowing sweep the Dodgers. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And then we start the next 6 games against the White Sox and the Giants. And our hope is, you and I, that the White Sox are eliminated by the time that we play them.
Yes.
They're currently 7 games back. We play them 6 games before the end of the season. Potentially, we'd have them eliminated, or on the brink of elimination. We play them, and the Giants are eliminated. Will be eliminated come next week.
The Giants organization is falling apart.
Yep.
Because turns out that not just us, not just this podcast, hate their manager, but their own players hate their manager.
Yeah, their strategy of like maybe these old people will still be good, not working out so much.
Yeah.
Someone did a comparison. All of their veterans that are playing this year that played last year, there's a combined like 17 WAR difference. And you get, I mean, we've watched the games. It makes sense. They're not as good, right? Wild. Yeah, they might be. It's like going to be one of the most dramatic like division winners to sub 500 teams in baseball history.
Yeah, because all they're really missing is Posey and Ruff.
But Posey did just join the ownership group of the Giants.
This is true.
So who knows?
He's not their manager, though.
Yeah.
Gabe Kapler.
Yeah, you have a soft spot for your boy Wins, though.
You know what? I do like Austin Wins from the loyal listeners know from the San Francisco Giants. Used to work at the same Costco I did. We stocked the same department together. Yeah. He was a nice kid. It's also just fun looking up on your TV and seeing this kid who was 10 years ago telling me how he was just all about baseball and he just wants to start as a catcher. That's all he wants to do. And you see him living his dreams.
That's
good
cool.
job,
it's
Austin.
Cool. Good job, Austin Wins.
Yay! But we're gonna beat you.
Yeah, it's
and here he said, I don't want Austin to play under Gabe Kapler because that guy, it's got to be terrible. It's got to be terrible for Austin. As everybody else, look, there's a lot of players leaking to the media how much they hate playing for Gabe Kapler.
Yeah, I wonder. I'd be interested. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about after the season and about the outlook of the NL West is going to be dramatically different. Yeah, but we're not there yet. If we do not do well next week, we have to absolutely destroy the last week. We have to just go ham because the playoffs start. Is it that Friday? Does anyone know? Can anyone know? Can anyone know about anything?
We are so prepared. So the last game of the season is Wednesday, October 5th. So yes, the playoffs would start that Friday.
The 7th. Yeah.
The 7th.
AL wildcard and NL wildcard will start on the 7th. Okay. Yeah. No break. We gotta go. We just gotta go into it hot.
Yes.
And fuego, and just roll right into it, man.
Burn the ships.
Burn the ships. James, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for our listeners. We really appreciate it. Until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is. Oh, doctor, you can hang a star